You think you know me.
Cooking. You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
Ooh, yeah! Welcome to the Royal Rumble preview show with the Macho Boski, Professor Keith, Jeff Christian, and Mean Mark Mest. Yeah, we're gonna put it all down. You do the thing if you got the guts. Yeah. Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle on the Big Al.
All right.
And this is the preview show that we all look forward to every single year, and that is the preview show for the WWE Royal Rumble. However you feel about the WWE lately, and the Keith and the Professor and I have lots of opinions on that. This is one event I never miss, no matter what, and it's the Royal Rumble. It's unpredictable. You guys, being wrestling fans, being in the business also, know very well that anything goes in the Royal Rumble, and it's exciting. Yep. It's always a good time. There's the rumors are flying, the special entrances. You never know what's going to happen. The rest of the card isn't that bad either this year, and I'm really looking forward to some of the matches, including Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. That's been a long time coming. But let me tell you what, other than that, I hope you guys strap in, enjoy yourselves, have a good time with this tonight, and I want your opening thoughts on this year's Rumble. Starting with, let's start with the new guy, Jeff Christensen, man. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm great. I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely. So, Jeff, you've been following the WWE.
SummerSlam 92 was my first pay-per-view. No, 90. SummerSlam 90 was my first pay-per-view. 92 was the one that sticks out most in my mind. So, long time. Long enough, not as long as you guys.
Brickhouse is in the house, Keith.
He is.
Switch the decaf. Thank you. All right. So my point is, and the reason why I asked you that, Jeff, is because we're getting to know you as well. Mark has told us that you do commentary for Outbreak, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the most fun things I think I've been doing in the past 10 years of being involved in pro wrestling.
That is awesome. And have you been following WWE lately, or have you drifted away from it like some of us have and kind of watched AEW and maybe a little bit distant, or maybe getting our wrestling fix on the indie scene more so than just watching mainstream WWE?
Yeah, I mean, I try to take in as much wrestling as I can, no matter what 3 to 5 to 10 letters are involved in the company. WWE obviously has the most programming opportunities. So, yeah, I watch a lot of that. What I've gravitated away from is the NXT product.
Yeah.
But I've tried to at least stay knowledgeable in the WWE, the two main shows, so to speak.
NXT was something else before it got taken over kind of by Vince, because Keith and I used to always enjoy watching a takeover versus a WWE pay-per-view, or now as it's called, a premium event. Big shout outs to Brickhouse being on board. Big shout outs to Big Joe Dudley's at CCW out there in Lewistown. Have fun, Big Joe. Have fun, Rob Noxious. Everybody kick ass out there.
Glad you guys could do it even with the weather.
Absolutely, man. With the weather, you guys are out there doing the thing out there in Lewistown. So enjoy tonight's festivities. Brickhouse agrees with, I believe, Jeff's assessment of NXT. I think that's what he's talking about there. Mean Mark, how you feeling tonight?
Pretty good. But I would like to touch up on what you just said about with CCW on their show tonight in Marysville. They are honoring a guy, a brother that we lost too soon.
Yes.
Big Hank, Dana Hinkle. The steel worker. I know Dana a long time, and unfortunately, he passed not too long ago. And tonight, they're going to celebrate his life and his wrestling. And my hat's off to those guys. I can't be there because the weather wasn't really great here. The roads were a little slippery, and I just didn't want to take that chance. So, guys, I hope you guys have a kick-ass show. Let's celebrate Big Hank tonight. I'll be there in spirit, and I just hope you guys safe travels to and from the show because as tonight it gets colder, it's going to get icy. So, you guys got to be careful. So.
Absolutely, guys, be careful, drive safe, both fans and wrestlers alike who are out in that and doing that show. It's not so bad here in PA. You might be a little bit worse in Jersey. But out here in PA, we didn't get hit too bad out here. Where I'm at, I only got a dusting. So I mean, hopefully out there, the further west away from
out that way, I don't think it was too bad. Like for us, like I'm Pottstown towards Philly more, and we got about 4 inches here, give or take. And
right,
the roads were pretty bad up until just not too long ago. Which and they're getting it's getting icier. So yeah, at least around here, it's not the greatest.
Right. So, I want to bring the professor in here. I want your thoughts on the Rumble in general, not just tonight's Rumble, but the Rumble as a concept, Keith.
I mean, as a concept, I love the Royal Rumble. I mean, we all know battle royals are as old as the hills. They're as old as wrestling themselves. A lot of times they can be really forgettable. As I say every year, the Royal Rumble is the genius of Pat Patterson. Rest in peace. Pat created something amazing. One of the unsung heroes, I think, in some cases for definitely the modern fans. Sometimes I think for fans that should freaking know better. Don't sing Pat Patterson's praises enough. The Rumble is a great event. It's always been an event that I've been a fan of since I became a fan of WWE, and I started watching it consistently right before the 94 Rumble. So I vividly remember the Bret Hart, Lex Luger controversy and all that. And ever since, it's been one of those events that it's so much fun. It's always enjoyable. I certainly have my criticisms this year. I know I've talked to JCM and Theo Ivory. We had a little bit of a back and forth on Facebook about the Johnny Knoxville inclusion. I'm not a giant fan of it just because if this is supposed to be determining who wins at WrestleMania, do we really need the celebrity involvement if it was just another battle royal? Okay, I could see it. If just the guys involved were also athletes as well as movie stars, I could understand it a little better. I'm a little bit more old school in that, I know kayfabe's dead, but we don't have to run over it with a steamroller and act like it never existed. And that's
and in fact, whenever possible, I still use it. In my opinion.
I mean, I get it. It's the thing I always go back to. Like, if you watch a movie, and let's use Die Hard because everybody's seen Die Hard, right? Everybody knows that Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman didn't hate each other. Right. But Hans Gruber and John McClane are mortal enemies for the runtime of that movie.
Right.
You don't want to see, after the end of that movie, you don't want to see them like at the rap party hanging out and high-fiving and going, oh, didn't we do such a good job? No, you don't want
such a great job. Such a great job.
And that's my point. You know that these guys are working together to do something, but you don't need to slam it down people's throats. You certainly don't need to do it during the run of a show. Let's have the suspension of disbelief.
Right. Absolutely. All right, guys. So let's get into tonight's event. I know, Keith, you've been more of a reader than actually watching, and so have I. To be honest with you, I have not watched an episode of Raw or SmackDown in weeks.
I've been applying the Jim Cornette rule. Why should I get mad in my own home?
Right. But I got to reading, and I got really excited to hear that the Women's Impact Champion, Mickie James, is, what do they call it, Keith? Opening the Forbidden Door tonight and entering this year's Royal Rumble with that title around her waist. And she cut a promo this week in which she claims not only is she going to win, But then she's going to challenge one of the women's champions in WWE title for title. Now that's a pipe dream kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
But give her credit and give them credit for bringing her in. I'm excited about it because you know how much of a mark I am for Mickie James.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun thing, and it's certainly going to help Impact. I mean, I would ask, and I think Mark's a great one to have here to ask this question. As a promoter, you were sending, if this was your company, if you were in charge of Impact, you're sending your champion in. How nervous would you be about that? You're sending your champion to another company. That company could potentially make your champion look like crap. I mean, are you trying to get some assurances beforehand? Are you kind of trusting it? Are you kind of saying, I can't control what they're going to do. Let's just send them in, hope for the best, and expect the worst? How would you approach that?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's a really bad outcome of this because she's not in a match itself. She's in the Rumble, okay? Worst case, say she goes in and gets thrown out within 30 seconds, okay? The bottom line is that's all exposure for Impact that they never had.
Right.
Okay, so they're getting, if anybody having has to lose it would be WWE, just because why bring somebody in from the outside when you got rid of them? They're a champion from another company, so you're bringing them in. They're acknowledging she's a champion there and everything, and they're gonna put you on their TV. Like, this is a win-win for Impact, no matter if she's in for 30 seconds or if she's in for 45 minutes.
Now
because she's gonna represent the company, yes. And that's more eyes on the product going, oh, she's at Impact. Oh my, there's people out there that may not follow the internet as far. Go, oh, she's at Impact. I really didn't know that because I didn't follow it. Now I'm gonna go follow it. So now all eyes are gonna go to Impact. So it's a big win for Impact, I think, either way.
Yes, I want to address this. I want to address this comment by James Brickhouse, and he said, I also read a rumor that Cody Rhodes is a surprise entrance in the Rumble. Let me dispel that rumor right now. The reason why that rumor started is because of this whole Forbidden Door thing as far as Mickie James is concerned and Impact's relationship with AEW. They're like, oh, well, if the women can have somebody from Impact, maybe the men can have somebody from AEW. That's where that started from. And Cody Rhodes has tweeted over and over again that, sorry, guys, they didn't call me. I'm not going to be there today.
I think there's less in it for AEW. I mean, AEW has national television. They have pay-per-view. They're doing okay. And they are the main, if not competition, definitely alternative to WWE right now. What does AEW get sending Cody Rhodes in that's a top talent for them, is one of the executives of the company for whatever time he's going to get in the Royal Rumble? And I would think, too, sending Cody in, Cody would be more of a target for WWE to try to humiliate or embarrass versus, say, a Mickie James, where Impact is clearly not competition to them. They don't have to worry about potentially giving Impact a rub, I think, the way they might have to worry about giving AEW a rub.
Didn't Cody put something on his Instagram, too, saying that, like, a picture of, like, St. Louis or something where they're at? But the airline, I think, was been out of, like, out of business for, like, so many years.
Trolling. He's trolling. Yeah, he's not there. Guys, Brickhouse wants to join us. I want you all to give me your opinion on that. Are you okay? What?
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem.
You don't have a problem with it? Jeff, you get a vote.
I don't have a problem with it, no.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna invite Brickhouse in right now. But in the meantime, let's go over the card. Let's begin going over the card before we get too far in, because I don't want to cross the 6 o'clock hour, which is the pre-show that they put up with. I'm live. Go away. God, they don't listen. All right, so
that's kids for you.
Oh my God! I gave them one instruction, which is stay in there or go upstairs. Take your choice, and they're just not listening. All right,
they can't pick.
So, bottom line here is our first match that we will talk about as far as this card is concerned, is the Edge and Beth Phoenix are teaming up against Maurice and Miz in a mixed tag match. All four of those people are in their respective Rumble matches as well. They're also going to be, so it's just they're wrestling this match, and this came about with kind of if you guys don't know, Miz and Maurice were kind of on Edge in the ring, attacking Edge a little bit. Next thing you know, Beth Phoenix is there. Of course she is. That's his wife. So now you got this little thing here. It's a mini storyline here. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I can do with it or without it. I think it's going to be fun, but I'm not invested to really care. But I mean, I love Edge and I love the Miz, so it is what it is. How do you guys feel?
I mean, I look at it this way, like, Beth, how much time does somebody like Edge and Beth have left? So, they're trying to, and Miz has always been entertaining. Maurice is, they've always been entertaining, so I'm thinking this match, I like it. I haven't watched a lot of stuff because I don't have cable anymore. I don't have Dish. So right. I see stuff on like Facebook and TikTok and a few things. So, I mean, from what I'm seeing, it's entertaining. Mm-hmm. And, but Miz has always been that guy that somehow squeaks out the big wins when they need it. So I think that even though Edge and Beth are, I think they're above Maurice and Miz. I think Miz and Maurice win tonight.
Of course they will, because it's a heel thing, and it'll be, and they might even open up the card with this just to get the crowd going, because then the first music you hear is Edge's.
Yeah.
Right.
You can do that. You could do it in between the Rumbles or something like that.
They could do that too.
It'd be a nice run up, come
Let's
down.
Let's bring in Brickhouse. He is a manager in 3WA Wrestling. What's up, Brickhouse?
Not much, man. It's been a while since we last talked.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So, in case you don't know, I know you know Mean Mark, but that's Jeff Christensen there. That's Brickhouse.
What's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
All right,
Pretty
Jeff.
good.
Your opinion, we're going to go around the horn here. So your opinion on the Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Maurice and Miz match.
When was the last time Miz and Maurice actually won a mixed tag match? Because they've had a few of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember them against John Cena and Nikki.
Right.
Nikki Bella.
Right.
They didn't win that one. I cannot, and I'm trying to rack my brain to figure it out. I cannot remember a time that Miz and Maurice were in a mixed tag match and actually won it.
Right.
I just, so is this that time where maybe they win it? I think if you're WWE and you want to extend this feud and get more mileage out of it, or you think you can get more out of it, this might be the time for Miz and Maurice to win.
With some chicanery. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're ready to blow it off and move Edge on to something else, I was watching The Bump earlier today, and AJ Styles talked about, hey, I'd love to have a match with Edge. Is it in the cards? I don't know. Are we getting closer to it? Maybe. He kind of hinted at it. I'm not saying Edge and AJ are headed for some kind of match. I have no idea. I'm just saying what I saw on The Bump today. But is it an opportunity to move Edge on to something else?
Right.
Then again, there was a reason that Beth left her commentary position in NXT. And it was presumably for what she's doing right now. And
kind of
what do you do with her to move on?
Like, you think she's going to wrestle singles again and do that again?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to start any rumors or anything. I'm just saying, Miz and Maurice, to me, they're not winning this match unless they're cheating to win.
Chicanery.
Or yeah, exactly. Which it's Miz, so it's gonna happen, right?
All right, let's get Brickhouse's opinion on this one. The mixed tag match tonight at the Rumble.
Well, one, I gotta say, like, when Beth Phoenix was originally with the WWE, I was a huge fan of hers. In my eyes, there was no woman that could touch her. The strength, she's beautiful, and the way that, like, she came out now, where it's like a whole different Beth Phoenix, where, I'm sorry to word it like this, she kind of reminds me of like a tough woman mixed with Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. But like, I'm completely digging. Well, when she came out at the last pay-per-view, day one, and she ran to the ring, I'm looking at that jacket. I'm like, wait a minute, why does that look so familiar? And she's wearing a Rockaware jacket. That's Jay-Z's clothing brand. So I'm like, wait a minute, the hairstyle, everything, it looks just like Fergie. But anyway, it's good to see them back. And like Jeff had said, when was the last time you saw Miz and Maurice win a mixed tag match? And right now, it makes you wonder, because as you have brought up that Beth Phoenix left her commentary position, is this the last hurrah for both Edge and Beth Phoenix before they leave wrestling altogether and go concentrate on their family life? But this is something I'm looking forward to and hoping. Like, I love that Edge uses the Brood entrance now, but to see him and Beth Phoenix come out to that, I'll pop hard for that.
That might be cool. Yep. Keith, do you have any opinion on this whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody involved is going to have fun. We know that. It's a couple situation. Edge and Beth probably only have so many more of these appearances left. Miz, you got to think, is starting to think about what life after wrestling is going to look like. Maurice is, I'm pretty sure, probably just doing this like the check's clear, and I have to work with my husband. Okay, I'll do it. And that's not to say she doesn't work hard. It's just that I think she has different priorities than the other three people involved in this match. I think Beth was one of those women that got screwed by, she was the right person and she came along in the wrong era, where she became the worker for the less good,
or like Lita and Trish
model, the models and all of those girls, and it was okay, you have to go out with them and make them look good. And
speaking of models,
together,
two of Keith's favorites are going to be in the Rumble tonight, aka the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as this match, I think it does come down to what are your plans post this match? Do you have a Mania match planned for Edge? Do you have something planned for Miz?
Right.
If you don't, you know what? This seems to be working, so why not let the feud continue?
Yeah.
I would certainly love to see Edge versus AJ Styles if we can get that going. I know this is one of those matches where all four participants are going to also be in their respective Royal Rumbles, so I don't expect a lot of fireworks here or anybody to kill themselves, because you have to go out and you have to do the Rumble later, and definitely in the case of Edge, you're probably going to want him in there for a little while.
That's why what you said earlier about this match being in between the Rumbles, I think this match opens the card. That way they can get ready for both matches down the road, because you don't want Edge to be in the Rumble and then have to go out and wrestle this match, or the women for that, or have Beth and Maurice compete in the women's Rumble and then have them compete in the match. It's not fair. I don't think so.
Well, it depends on where everybody would come out, and it depends on how long you want them in there, too.
Okay. All right, moving on, guys. We're going to go to the Raw Women's Championship is on the line. Is Becky Lynch, the man, or Big Time Bex, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah, I don't think they want to use
Defends against Doudrop, which, by the way, disclaimer, I fucking hate that name.
Oh, it's a stupid fucking name.
That is Piper Niven, goddammit. And she'll always be Piper Niven to me, and she should and deserves to be Piper, even Piper. But they don't want to call her that because that associates her with Roddy. Whatever. It's stupid. That's her name, and she deserves to be called that, not fucking Doudrop. But
have you Urban Dictionary'd what that actually means?
Doudrop?
Yeah.
Not spelled that way. What does it mean, Jeff?
It is an
Does the poop emoji come? Does the poop emoji?
No, it is not.
I'm surprised Vince didn't put her in a T-shirt that has the poop emoji on it.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm gonna say is if you're that interested, look in the Urban Dictionary for a meaning.
I'm not a fan of the name.
Hi, Mom. All right, so hey Jeff, keep it clean. My mom's watching. All right, anyway.
Yeah, well, that's why I said if you're that interested, you can look it up on Urban Dictionary. I'm not gonna.
I'm looking right now.
She's Piper Niven to me. She's Piper Niven to me.
All right, thank you. So since you're talking, we're gonna let you go first. Who wins this match and why?
Becky keeps the belt. I don't necessarily know that you want to bury Piper Niven.
Yeah.
But Becky keeps the belt. Who's gonna beat her? You know, there's like maybe 5 women I can think of that you could put Becky Lynch in a match.
The winner of tonight's Royal Rumble will beat her at Mania.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got, like I said, I have 5 people picked to talk about when we get there. But
wait a minute, my mom's here, and so's Mama Brickhouse.
Oh my God!
Oh,
hi, Mama Brickhouse.
I just found out what Jeff was talking about with the definition. I actually have it up.
Is it clean?
No,
it is clean. It kind of, well, I'll go through what the proper terminology is and not use something.
Yeah, give us the definition.
If we will.
Yeah, your
Give
mom.
us the definition.
The proper definition, you want to use it that way. It's a woman who is romantically attracted to other women.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know her sexual orientation, so
she's married to a guy. They just got married.
She's married to a guy.
Yeah, Piper just got married not too long ago.
Okay, well,
beautiful. I think it was a beach wedding. She's got pictures of it on her Instagram.
Awesome,
wonderful wedding. So
there you go. That's why we have these inside information in here, Keith.
Yes.
All right, Mean Mark, who wins this match and why?
I just think it's Becky, just because her not going into the Mania. Yeah, to go into the champion, into Mania as champion. I just think that losing today is, just not in the cards. It just doesn't make sense. They're building her and they're constantly building her. Nobody can beat her. So, I think she wins. Not saying that it won't be a competitive match, but I think
she'll
hands
stretch
down,
her
I
out.
think she'll win to face whoever at WrestleMania. So.
I agree. And a little note here: Charlotte's not defending her title tonight, but she's in the Rumble, and if she wins, she gets to pick her opponent. Brickhouse, who wins this match and why?
Well, I gotta agree with Mark, actually. What's the point of having her drop it tonight and then go on into the whole WrestleMania thing? Because the thing is, how many WrestleMania moments has she had so far? And the thing of being humble behind it, like she went on, she became Becky 2 belts when she beat Ronda and Charlotte. Then she went in last year and beat Bianca Belair to win the championship as well.
Right.
And I feel as though she's had her WrestleMania moments, and it's time for others to now come up and have their moments.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you look at somebody like Brock Lesnar, oh, look how big and bad he is, But Brock actually has one of the worst WrestleMania records that there is. Same with Triple H, who, although he's had some wins at WrestleMania, I believe it's Triple H who has the most losses at WrestleMania as well.
He does.
Probably, yeah.
Pretty
Just one
close
other
to
thing.
Shawn Michaels.
Just want to think about this match. I just thought about it. Now we all talked about Rousey being there. She never had her rematch, did she? When Becky beat her. So
No.
Are we looking at the Rousey winning the Rumble facing Becky at Mania?
Yes.
I do it, but I have a story.
Does she need to?
Now wait.
What if Becky wins the match and then Ronda's music hits and Ronda comes out and points to the sign?
Right.
You can do that too.
They could do that, but I think Ronda wins. I think what Mark said is right. I think Ronda wins the Rumble, and she wrestles her at Mania. Like they could do either or. Like you're right, Jeff. Because the winner of the Rumble doesn't have to take on Becky. She could take on Charlotte.
Right.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
And they could face the
still have
NXT women's.
They could do that also, right? But I'm just saying,
But realistically,
I like the idea.
are they going to do that?
I like Jeff's
Charlotte
idea.
did.
2 years ago.
I don't know about
Charlotte did.
That was 2 years ago.
I don't know about you guys.
Know.
I don't know about you guys, but I like Jeff's idea where she comes out and challenges her at Mania rather than her winning, just coming in and winning the Royal Rumble, because that kind of takes the spotlight off of somebody else that maybe deserves it a little better this year.
Well, I don't think that would happen tonight. Her coming out, I think that would wait till Raw, because because they're not gonna make it all one night and do that. Depending where they are on the card. I think if Ronda doesn't win it and they're gonna set her up for that, that'll happen on Raw. So
Yeah, I could see doing it that way because I know Rhonda's there. I've read Rhonda's there, and I know the plan at one point was Rhonda is a surprise for the Women's Rumble, but I'm also reading that Vince doesn't have the creative lockdown yet. They're still going over it, which I mean, there could be a lot of reasons for that. You know, I
well,
would think
side
in
note,
some cases.
I don't know if you guys know, Vince's mother just passed.
Yeah,
I was
Oh,
gonna-
I saw that this
gonna
morning,
bring
yeah.
up, Mark. I wonder if this
With
was a little
all
bit of-
listen, guys. With all due respect to that, I was going to bring that up at the end, rather than I do have a banner for that, and rest in peace, Vicky Askew. But
Mhm.
we're going to talk about that at the very end. I didn't want to put a damper on what we were talking about now, but
Okay.
yes, we will talk about that.
All right. The next Keith, you got
I
any
was
opinion
just
on
gonna
Becky
say,
Lynch and Dewdrop?
Yeah, I have a couple of thoughts here. I mean, we know Becky's not losing. Becky's a franchise. I would argue Becky is the franchise for the women's division, heel or face. I know they
Right.
badly want it to be Charlotte.
Right.
I don't think it's Charlotte.
No.
Not to take away from what Charlotte's done and what Charlotte's accomplished, but I think there is a certain segment of the fan base, and it's not just your internet smart,
No.
asshole fans that want to be contrary. I do think there's a segment of the fan base that feels like, as good as Charlotte is, she gets a lot of what she gets because she's a Flair, because the office wants to push the Flair name. So I don't think Charlotte is, and also Charlotte didn't do herself any favors with the whole belt situation. A couple
Yeah.
months ago, she's got that stink on
They
her
were
now.
supposed to switch the belt, and she throws it. And by the way, I encourage you guys to watch the Stone Cold, what is it, Broken Skull Sessions. He just had one with Becky, and they talk specifically about that incident. It's interesting to hear Becky's take on that.
I started watching that today a little bit. I only got maybe
It's awesome.
20 minutes
whole
in,
thing is
so
awesome.
but yeah.
That whole thing is, and the one with DDP. I hope you guys saw that one because that's awesome.
The one with Kevin Nash is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Bobby Lashley.
watch the one with Becky. Watch the one with Becky because she gets into that incident. Like Stone Cold asked her about that incident.
Yeah. So I feel like Becky more organically overall is the franchise. I think you should do a competitive match here. I think also there's an opportunity here where you could do something where Becky does like an injury angle or something on Dewdrop. You can kind of push her to the side for a little while, and then you can come back and you can bring her back as Piper Niven. Or something close to it. You can get rid of this name. You can get rid of.
God, I hope you're right.
You're
not right all the time. But I hope you are this time.
Yeah. Get rid of the silliness involved in that. Bring her back as someone closer to who she was in NXT UK. Because I'm a big fan of Piper Niven.
Yes.
That's why I was so against this
She's
name
awesome.
and everything they were bringing her in as. Because I'm like, no.
Because you knew it would happen, right? You knew it would happen. This is why we don't watch. You knew Piper in NXT UK was fucking awesome, and then she comes over here and she's Dewdrop.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Okay. Yes. She's in a main event type match with Becky Lynch. Not too far. Okay, you can make that argument and saying, oh, well, they didn't bury her because they put her in with Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. What more do you want? What more do I want is for her not to be called fucking Dewdrop. That's what I want. And I want her to do things on her own, not be, for a while there, she was like Eva Marie's valet. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Rocky's more like it.
Whatever. Okay, I'm glad you dropped
take
her
the
already.
opportunity here to.
Well, WWE loves.
Go ahead, Jeff.
WWE loves those one-word names. So if you're
Right.
trying to rename
wanna
her
own
and
the
get
name.
away from the Piper affiliation, just call her Niven.
Comic double.
All right.
Yeah,
Moving on, the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. We've seen this a while. I mean, this has been something that's been happening for years, and these guys were in the Shield, and they've wrestled each other at different pay-per-views and different title matches, and sometimes Roman wins and sometimes Seth wins. Who wins tonight, Professor?
Roman. Of course, Roman's going to win. There is no offense to Seth Rollins. And I'm a guy that, this was one of the great things that I was wrong about in wrestling. That I always used to sit there and be like, oh, and the Shield breaks up, so that's going to be fucked. They're going to look at him as the undersized, flippy, floppy guy, and
Right.
he's never going to do anything, and they're going to beat the crap out of him, and it's going to be terrible. And I was wrong, because Seth has built himself a great lane. He's done very well. He should not be
First
winning.
step to getting it.
Roman has been this dominating, destructive champion. Seth's not the guy that should end that run. I thought Big E should be the guy that ended that run, and then
Okay.
they completely goofed that up. So,
Right.
no, and also I'm told that basically whatever happens tonight, Brock and Roman is pretty much set in stone for Mania this year. That's the one thing they have really locked in. There's no reason for Seth Rollins to be pulling off an upset tonight. It'll be a
Roman
great
wins
match,
and
though.
the Rock takes it from him at Mania.
That is some real ultra fantasy booking right there.
That's a pipe dream there, Big Nick.
Yeah, I don't think Brock's coming back.
So are you saying it's going to be champion versus champion at Mania?
No,
I
he's saying
think
that Lesnar loses tonight.
I think there's a good idea I've heard for doing that, where you could do that on night one, and then whoever wins the Rumble gets to wrestle the winner of that match and take one of the championships on night two.
I mean, to me,
Because we've done a lot of. Because the thing is, we've done a lot of Roman Brock too, and we've done a lot of Roman Brock at Mania. So I feel like you've got to really do something to spice that up if you're going to do that again.
Yeah.
I know it's a great match. I know it's two great workers that can go beyond just the bull of the woods, two big guys slapping the crap out of each other and whatever. They're better than that. But at the same token, it's been a lot of WrestleManias seeing those guys hook it up or do something with each other. So I feel like if you put some kind of extra spice into it, I mean, I personally think the way they introduced the Universal title sucks. I would have done in the three-way when they did this initially. I would have had, some kind of disputed finish where somebody could have said, okay, I'm creating the Universal title because I'm not the guy. I think the way I had it laid out was it was Moxley, Rollins, and Roman. I would have done something where Roman got pinned, and then I would have had Seth running around and going, well, nobody pinned my ass. And because you had kind of a heel running Raw, you could have done something where it's like, well, we're going to declare Seth the champion because Roman fucked up for the brand and didn't win us the title. Because I like realism and stuff. I don't like the idea of we're just going to pull a title out of thin air, have some kind of storyline reason for it. I don't know if this kind of corrects that original sin in my mind, but it might give you something a little more to say there's parity in the championships and there's a reason to have two world champions, maybe.
All right, so after all that, you're saying Roman's retaining.
Oh, Roman's going to retain. There's no reason to wait for Roman. None.
All right, Mark.
I said that was the top.
Mark.
Yeah, I still think Roman's winning this no matter what. I mean, it'll be a great match because these guys can put on, a hell of a clinic.
And they know each other so well.
Yeah, I still think that, they're not here at Rumble. It's Mania. They're going to set up Mania. So I think if he's dropping it all, it'll be Mania.
Yeah.
All right, Brickhouse.
Roman. Due to the fact, again, it's something I read up on, but and the last 5 matches where a world championship was on the line between Seth and Roman, they have it where Roman is 0-5 against Seth, where in reality Seth has only beaten Roman twice, so he's 2-5. The other 3 matches, it was always a fatal 4-way or something like that, where somebody else came out victorious. Right. So this time, I think Roman's actually going to go to Mania, and it's either we're going to see a belt for belt or maybe unification. And as far as Keith, how he said about with that whole, let's not pull a belt out of the air and then create something, da-da-da. Let's go back to the original thing where it was the undisputed champion, Brock Lesnar, was supposed to be the champion of both shows, but then signed with SmackDown. So what does Bischoff do? Pulls the World Heavyweight Championship out of thin air and just hands it to Triple H.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Right.
But I just said, sorry, Roman victorious tonight.
All right, Jeff.
I dig this whole bloodline thing. I think it's probably the best storyline in WWE. I see no way that Roman doesn't retain the championship. I had this fantasy booking moment where I talked about in my head, boy, what if Moxley busted down that forbidden door in the Royal Rumble tonight and he won?
Wow.
And he came out to Seth and Roman. Wouldn't that be something?
You imagine the pop?
Right?
Yeah, it's not happening, but it would be something.
I mean, let's be real about that, though. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? It would. I think everybody here would ridiculously pop to something like that.
Oh my God! You should have seen my partner. Hey, listen, I was watching the last Rumble I watched with my partner was 2020, right? Just before they shut things down for the pandemic, and it was a live crowd, and his jaw went to the floor when he heard Edge's music.
I think everybody's did.
Oh my God! Like
mine did too. Yeah,
shocked. That would be one of those moments. Brickhouse, you had something else to say?
Oh no, I said about how you said about Keith's mouth had dropped when Edge came out. What is going on with my video?
I don't know.
But when Edge's music hit, my mouth also hit the floor because it was something that I never thought I'd see Edge back in the WWE ring, let alone he's coming out in the Rumble and coming back, making his great debut, I guess you can say. Yeah, he did. And so if Sam, like Jeff said, if Moxley would break down that forbidden door tonight, I would go hard for that. Cody, if he come, I'd go hard for that, but not as hard as Moxley, especially with everything Moxley just went through.
All right, so let's move on to the WWE Championship match, which is Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley.
Ooh.
Their careers have kind of paralleled. Of course, Bobby went away for a while and did his thing other places. Brock also went away and did his thing in UFC. They both come back to WWE, and they're both on top of their game. Bobby Lashley was champion there for a little while, and deservingly so. I thought he was a great champion, and I still think he could be a great champion. My question to you guys is, if Bobby Lashley doesn't beat Brock Lesnar tonight, who will?
Wow, well, quiet.
Keith?
I mean, Roman obviously could beat Lesnar. I can see why they want that, especially with the Paul Heyman factor and all that. I mean, I could also see making a case where Lashley beats Lesnar. Lesnar has to go into the men's rumble or something and get in the back door that way. Of course, the problem with doing it that way is you have Lesnar with a high-profile loss. Getting the Universal title match is almost a consolation prize out of the Rumble. Does that hurt your excitement for the Mania match? I know some finishes I've heard that people have proposed is do something where they beat the ever-loving shit out of each other. There's like a double pin at the end of it, and you just have Lesnar just barely get the shoulder up to win, so Lashley looks like he can hang. Lashley maintains that he is a Brock Lesnar level threat.
Right.
And he doesn't lose anything. So, I mean, if Lashley's not winning, that's the finish I would go with, because Bobby Lashley is an asset. He's younger than Lesnar. He's there full time. Lesnar, you always have to fight with, and you always have to do the how much for how many dates. Brock always wants more money for less time.
Right.
So you definitely want to keep an asset like Bobby Lashley, who, from all intents and purposes, from what I've heard, doesn't play those games. You want to keep that asset very, very strong. So if he's not winning, you need to protect the crap out of him and losing.
Mark Mest.
There's like so many ways that they could take this. The question is, which way are they going? Like, that's the big question. Like, does Lesnar keep the title going, and do they do like champion versus champion, like you said, on night one, and the winner gets a night two? Or, do they do something where, there's outside interference? Do the Usos come down? Does it screw Lesnar over because, for Bobby to take the title, and then, that could set him up for, Roman at Mania, and they got the title off of Lesnar.
Like a headhunting thing.
Yeah, now he's mad because he got screwed because of the Usos. He takes them out
I like
you know, and then eventually sets up for, you know, Brock and you know, Roman at Mania, where he finally beats, you know, Roman for the title. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, if it's even down the road, I think Lesnar takes it. But if there's outside interference, I can see Bobby taking it as well. So it doesn't discredit, you know, Brock. And if it's like the Usos coming down, or even Roman's music hits, the distraction, maybe the Usos are out there.
It's the hardest one of the entire night to pick, in my opinion.
Yeah,
including the Rumble matches. Jeff,
it depends where they're going, but I could see Lesnar winning, but at the same time, I could see something where Bobby squeaks out a win as well.
Yep, Jeff.
So that's actually something we didn't talk about with Roman's match with Seth, is the Uso factor.
Right.
Seth and KO, Kevin Owens, won a tag match on SmackDown that actually prevents the Usos from being ringside for that match. But like Mark said, nothing says they can't interfere with this one.
That's true.
So it's not even a possibility I entertained until just now. As far as who I think wins, man, both these guys were college wrestlers. They were high school wrestlers.
Tremendous athletes.
Great. Just, you know, I used to hate Brock, to be honest with you. I hated the character. I hated everything. And then I saw everything he did, in my opinion, to make Drew McIntyre an absolute megastar.
Right.
Yeah.
And at that point, my entire opinion of Brock Lesnar changed.
Right.
Brock Lesnar can make anyone at this point an absolute megastar. Bobby Lashley doesn't need that level of a push.
Nope.
But I would love to see a double count out, go Broadway somehow.
Yeah, like Keith said, sort of.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Just keep it going. Yeah.
All right, Brickhouse.
I've got to agree with everybody else right now. This one's hard to call. Like you said about how they went different angles and whatnot, and how they both have the mixed martial arts background as well. And you originally said about how Brock went to the UFC, became heavyweight champion, but after WWE, when he left, he tried football, didn't really make it there. So he went over to Japan, became heavyweight champion in Japan, and then came over and started doing the whole MMA thing. So this one is going to be really hard. And what I would say is that if they want to set up for the Universal thing, what, in my personal opinion, then I would have Bobby go over Brock Lesnar, have Lesnar come out, do something where he gets into the Rumble, wins the Rumble, and then goes on and takes on Roman. But if they're going to do a belt for belt, I'd love to see that too. But there are just so many possibilities. But right now, I can't pick a winner, to be honest with you, because it's something I've been wanting to see for years.
Oh, yeah,
but if I had to pick, my pick would be Bobby Lashley.
I'm going to piggyback off of everything all you guys said. I like Keith's idea of a finish where at the last minute somebody gets their arm, where, you know, Bobby Lashley takes him to the limit, but at the last minute they're both lying there and Brock gets his arm over and keeps the title. If they're going the route of title for title at Mania, that's what will happen. But if they're not, Bobby Lashley's going to win this match. I don't know how he's going to do it, whether it be the Usos interfere, whether it be one way or another. If they're not doing that title for title thing, then Bobby Lashley's going to win this match. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think what's going to happen then is Brock wins the Rumble. So if this match is before the men's Rumble, Brock wins the Rumble. Okay? If this match is after, if this match ends the night, see, because they change it up all the time, Keith. Sometimes they have the Rumble at the end. Sometimes they have the title match at the end. And they might do that with these guys because people have been waiting, like Brickhouse said, for this match for quite some time. So maybe they might end the night with this. And if they end the night with this, fine. But Brock, yes, Brock could be in the Royal Rumble. I'm not saying Lashley couldn't be either. They kind of have a lack of talent with all these firings that they've had over the past year.
Yeah.
So that's why they're. I mean, come on, with Johnny Knoxville's going to be in the damn thing, and Bad Bunny's going to be in the damn thing. It's ridiculous.
Whoa, don't, you can't discredit Bad Bunny. I'm sorry.
Well, listen, I'm not discrediting him. I'm discrediting the fact that he and Johnny Knoxville, who are entertainers in other industries, are taking 2 spots in the Royal Rumble that belong to wrestlers. That's all I'm saying. I'm not discrediting Bad Bunny as an athlete because I seen him last year at the Royal Rumble jump off the top ropes and take out Miz and Morrison. Okay, fine. But
it wasn't that. It was when he was training for the WrestleMania, where he basically moved into the performance center where he was going 10, 12 hours a day.
He wants to do this.
Training.
I get it.
Yes. So that's where I'm like, that dude, if something in this spot, he deserves it. Does he deserve to win? Not by a long shot.
So my opinion is, if I had to pick a winner, like Brickhouse said, like where he had to pick a winner, I'm taking Lashley, and either the Usos interfere to make Lesnar go after Roman, or Brock wins the Rumble. Either way, it ends up being Brock and Roman at WrestleMania. And how they can spice it up, Keith, is a special guest referee. But we'll talk about that later. All right. Let's move on. The Women's Royal Rumble match. Who wins? Keith?
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Rousey's there. The logical, and from what I'm hearing, the thought process is she's a surprise. What's up, Chris? She's probably going to be a surprise entrant. If she's there, why do you not put her in the Rumble? Why do you not have her win the Rumble?
Well, if she does what Jeff says, after Becky wins, if she comes out and challenges Becky to a match, then she doesn't have to actually wrestle.
There's that, but then you brought Ronda in. That's how you're going to use her, really. And then who do you want to win the Women's Rumble?
Vince doing that. Vince does that shit.
Challenge for the other title at Mania.
Belair.
I mean, I guess she can. I feel like it's a little bit of been there, done that. I'd
love to see Belair versus Charlotte 1-on-1 at Mania. Why not?
I don't think they've done a ton to really help Belair. But then again, I've not ever been a giant fan of her. So
Chris says Alexa Bliss or Ronda.
I don't like.
There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Wyatt gimmick stealing Alexa. They never have.
I know you haven't. But I'm not here to shit on that gimmick or Alexa Bliss in any way. Mean Mark, who wins the Women's Rumble match?
I heard a rumor is Sasha back. What's that?
Sasha
back.
Yes, is back.
That could make sense.
I mean, so she special in there too. Maybe if it's not Ronda, it could be Sasha. You know, but I'm going with one of those two. I would think
Ronda or Sasha. Gotcha, Jeff.
So I had 6 women that I narrowed it down to. Look, there was 30. Okay, it was a hard decision.
I got you.
So the 6 that I narrowed it down to were Sasha Banks,
sure,
Bayley. I don't know if she's cleared. I don't know if she can wrestle.
She will be.
Maybe she's not there. She's not cleared yet. I don't think.
Okay, I didn't know, so I threw it out there. Ronda, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and probably the one person no one is thinking about that they should be, Raquel Gonzalez.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. I would love that, actually. All right. Brickhouse.
That's why I said I had 6. So
Brickhouse.
Raquel was my 6th.
Brickhouse, who's winning the Women's Rumble match?
Well, like I said, with the whole Forbidden Door thing with Mickie James, and personally with what happened to her after she was released from WWE, how they sent her stuff and everything, I'm going with.
That was bull, man.
Yeah, it was, and I think that she deserves it as an apology to her for what has happened. And so I'm going to go. My one guess can be Mickie James, but he also just brought up another name that I didn't think of, somebody that I am infatuated with because I think she's actually a very beautiful, very talented, very strong Rhea Ripley.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love me some Rhea Ripley.
Love it. All right. My prediction is plain and simple. If Ronda's in it, she wins. If she isn't in it, then I got Bianca Belair.
Didn't Bianca win it already?
She won it last year.
Yeah, she won last year.
She can't win back to back. Stone Cold
Won
Steve
the
Austin
title,
did that
and
shit.
then they had
Shawn Michaels
Becky
did that
destroy
shit.
her.
And they did Bianca dirty at Mania with what, her 30-second match with Becky?
Yep.
Yeah.
When she lost that title. This
was
this
actually
is that opportunity to rebuild Bianca
Right, 'cause
into,
that was
hey,
supposed to be-
sorry about that. There you go.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Bianca versus Sasha, and Sasha was injured, so they threw in Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
All
we
right.
decided, hey, let's ruin Bianca while
So
we're
let's
at it.
move. They didn't. That wasn't ruining Bianca.
That
but we
was
don't-
absolutely ruining her.
No, it did not. We don't have the time, Keith, to argue that. That was an ultimate heel dick. Watch the damn interview with Becky Lynch and Stone Cold. They talk about that match too. Trust me. Just trust me.
Because they're not telling the company line, not at all.
Men's Rumble match. Who wins, Keith?
So this one is difficult. Because it depends too on what you're doing in the Brock Lashley match, and I know there is a creative pitch. They're trying to get Brock in the Rumble, which would mean I would think they're at least thinking about taking the title off of him. If you take the title off of Brock and you put Brock in the match, the obvious thing is Brock will win to take on Roman. If you don't do that, personally, I like the title for title idea on night one, and then the winner of the Rumble would go ahead and face
that ultimate champion in
that.
I love that idea. I hope they do it, but I doubt it. They're not smart as you.
Yeah.
Mark?
Well, honestly, it wasn't my idea. Somebody else came up with it, and I just really liked it, and I'm throwing it out here.
So
it wasn't my original idea.
Who wins then?
You know, there's only a few guys that are built up that can do it, which is the curse of they do this every freaking year, where they have 30 guys and like 5 of them are maybe who you would think to win.
Right.
You know, Randy Orton's a possibility.
That'd be number 3 for him.
Kevin Owens is a possibility. AJ Styles is a possibility, but I also feel like a lot of those guys would be a been there, done that. You know, I'd like to see Damian Priest break out, and maybe Damian Priest gets the win.
That pick. I like
that. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Mean Mark.
You're like he said, there's so many. Orton's a good pick, but I think we're forgetting about somebody who hasn't been talked about, who everybody says is done dirty. What about Big E?
Yeah, why not?
Big E would be a good one too.
Why not?
You know, I mean, everybody said, oh, he lost it. You know, they did him wrong. He wins that Rumble. He gets his shot back, and if Lashley wins, he has a chance to beat him again. You know, whether he goes on to WrestleMania or not, but like he's kind of been the sleeper here. Nobody is talking about Big E at all.
Absolutely. So. Jeff, tell me you got another list of 6.
Actually, it's 5. And Big E was on that list, whether you believe it or not. And the other guys that I had were Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Walter. I will not call him Gunther.
You will not call him Gunther.
No, I don't like that. He's been Walter for how long? Just one of those shock,
Austin
mega push rocket. Austin Theory was actually my 5th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chris Vant coming in. He throws Austin Theory in the ring. All right.
Right when I was about to say the name.
Great minds think alike, Big Chris. All right, Brickhouse. Who wins the men's Rumble match?
Well, like I said, I've always been a fan of the ultimate underdog, and it happened once before with Rey Mysterio entering number 1 and winning.
Wow.
So I'm actually, one of my main picks is Dominic Mysterio. I would actually love to see something with him. I like the smaller guys.
He's 50 pounds soaking wet.
Okay, let me tell you something. Being a referee, you try to referee one of those cruiserweight matches, you get blown up by the time you get out that ring.
I'd rather not.
So Dominic, I did think about Big E. I'm glad Mark and Jeff here have brought him up because they're right. He is a sleeper. And I could see him winning it. And I know a lot of people are going to say, after what I say with this, about, he would actually be the first African American to win the Royal Rumble. And they're going to say, well, what about The Rock? What about The Rock? The Rock claims roots his Samoan heritage. He barely claims roots his African American heritage.
I understand what you mean.
I can see, I would love to see Big E as well. So Right now, my two choices, not 7 or 5. Jeff, sorry about that. But it's going to be Dominic and Big E.
I don't know why I'm saying this, and I don't know why it makes sense, but
It's
I'm just
you.
going to say it. Randy Orton is going to win the Royal Rumble. I just don't know why. I'm not. No, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Keith. He has no business. And he doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble, but Stone Cold Steve Austin, to my knowledge, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, is the only one that's won 3. And
I think that's correct. Yeah,
and that would mean that Randy Orton would be the only second guy ever to win 3. So
he's got so many other like firsts though and achievements. And
I mean, you can have Randy Orton versus if Bobby Lashley wins the title tonight. I can see that match at Mania. You can have Bobby needs an opponent for Mania if he wins the title. So
he does, but that opponent does that make you want to watch Mania? Does that make you excited for Mania?
No, because
do you want a reason to watch it?
No, but Lesnar versus Roman with a special guest referee, The Rock, makes me want to watch Mania. Yes.
You know, I don't know that I would do that. I mean, again, I don't watch a ton, so I don't know if they've kind of fixed all this. But what about Paul Heyman? Is there still any kind of lingering like Paul Heyman has any divided loyalties or anything? What about putting Paul Heyman in between the two of them?
As the ref?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like the idea and I like the theory, but I don't know. But I'm just saying you got to, like you said, if they do it again, they got to spice it up, and that's one way to do it. Special guest referee, or maybe a Hell in a Cell with a special referee like they did with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker and Triple H. I don't know. Something. But all right, that's it. That's the card, guys. Anybody?
It's a fun night.
Huh?
It's going to be a fun night.
It's going to be a fun night. All right. I'm going to go around the horn and we're all going to say goodbye and we're all going to give our final thoughts on the entire thing. Keith, go ahead.
Yeah, so
30 seconds. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't put me in a corner.
I'm kidding. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
No.
Oh, dear God.
First off, I want to thank everybody because you had that Facebook post up a while ago and just the response of that. You know, I want to thank everybody that comes on this show, supports this show, comments on this show. You know, this really isn't possible, and it isn't anything like what it is without everybody that participates, everybody that's here tonight. I thank them. Everybody who comments, everything. Like, you guys, I really can't put into words what it means to me. It's been a dream. It's been so great to get to know people in the business, to have you guys allow us behind the curtain, to let us participate in something that's meant so much to us. It's allowed me to make new fans of the people I love the most, and I can't put into words what that means. I think we're going to have a good show tonight. Hopefully the creative is not going to, you know, destroy the work as it often does in WWE. Hopefully people are going to get excited for WrestleMania coming out of this show, because that is the point of this show. It's kind of be that first stop on building the biggest show of the year, and that first chance to get everybody excited about what that show is going to be.
Mark.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me again. I really appreciate that. You know, I do. You know, tonight the Rumble. I've been in wrestling too long to get angry and get upset about what goes on. I mean, you see the internet, people always complaining about something and they're never happy. Why can't we just
please everybody?
Be fans? Well, you're right, you can, but at the same time, but isn't that what wrestling's about?
Yes.
You're going to have like, oh my God, it was great, to like, oh my God, that's horrible. Why? Okay, but that's what keeps us interested in what we watch. Like, whether it's Rumble, whether it's AEW, whether it's Impact, the Indies, it's entertainment. So keep the open mind going into tonight. So if the person you want to win doesn't win, or you think they're going on the angle is not great, give them the opportunity. Let them tell their story, because you know after tonight there's going to be Raw, there's going to be SmackDowns until the build up to Mania and whatever pay-per-view before that.
Right.
So, you know, before I used to be like, oh, I hated this, I hated that. It was just terrible. But at the same time, I always look forward to see what are they going to do next. Like, all right, that was bad, but can they get out of it? Will it draw? What are they doing? And then sometimes down the road, you look at it and go, you know what? That wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
But nobody gives them the opportunity. And tonight, with the Rumble, anything can happen. So just keep an open mind. Let's have fun. Whoever comes out, comes out. Whoever wins, wins. But it's wrestling. Enjoy it. It's entertainment.
Awesome.
Enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Mark, I need to spend more time with you. Jeff?
First of all, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. This was a ton of fun. I would really love an opportunity for us to talk more, get to know each other. This was great, so I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing everything tonight. I think Royal Rumble is always the most exciting event of the year for me. It has been since I started following wrestling. And the tribute to Pat Patterson's genius in the world of professional wrestling coming up with this type of event. This is going to be awesome, and I'm going to, even though I'm by myself tonight, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm not going to get angry in my own living room.
Hey man, friend me on Facebook. All right, I'm under ALANAMEY the second, and you feel free to text me during the matches your opinions, because I thought your opinions were spot on tonight. You were awesome. And I loved having you, and I hope you have an open invitation to come back on here anytime. You understand?
Thank you so much. I'm humbled by that. Thank you.
Brick House, Brick House, speak, my friend.
Wow, what am I, a dog? Well, first, again, thank you to all you guys. You didn't have to bring me in, but you did today, and I really do appreciate that. I agree a lot with what Mark said. I think, honestly, we don't hear that enough, is that, let's be fans. Let's enjoy something. Let's not complain. Let's sit down with our families. Let's watch something for once and just enjoy it. Or go into something with an open mind. And like Mark said, I completely agree with him, is that a lot of people don't do that anymore these days. They got to go. They got to attack. They got to do something. Right. And it's I personally, I don't know, sometimes I step out and I'm like, oh, why'd this happen or anything? But I still like to go in and enjoy what I'm watching, completely open-minded. But I actually think this is going to be one fun event tonight, and it's going to be something that we can all sit down and just watch and enjoy together.
I want to thank from the bottom of my heart my partner in crime, the Professor Keith, without whom I would not be here. Me and Mark Mest always have helped me from day one, and I appreciate your help. Bringing Jeff Christian in here today was a treat, a hell of a treat, and I appreciate it to the max and everything that Jeff had to say. And Brickhouse, our first guest on Around the Turnbuckle was Brickhouse, and you started a wave over the past almost now 2 years of meeting all kinds of people in this business, and I appreciate you, brother, to the max. And I continue to wish you everything you want out of professional wrestling. And I will continue, and Keith and I will continue to month by month come down to 3WA and check you out and the guy and everybody else at 3WA. That being said, the Royal Rumble is an event that is near and dear to my heart. I used to watch every single Royal Rumble with my grandmother on pay-per-view. She got me into wrestling in the first place. And my grandmother absolutely loved the Royal Rumble. No matter who came out, she got excited. She booed the heels. She cheered the faces, and I did the opposite to kind of irritate her, right? I would cheer the heels. Yep. What are you cheering for him for? She'd yell at me. Why? He's so dastardly. He's terrible. It was real to her, believe me. And she passed away in 1990. And I continued that tradition of watching every single Royal Rumble. I got together with my mom and started watching it with her, who's watching right now. Thank you, Mom, for your support. Also, my son is watching right now also as well. And my son and I, once he was old enough, maybe 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5, watched every single Royal Rumble from that time on together. And we've always watched the Royal Rumble together. It's been a yearly tradition. And I hope that everybody enjoys it tonight, because it's always a fun time, no matter how you feel about creative right now. It's always a fun time, the Royal Rumble. And I'm not going to talk no more because we've cut into the 6 o'clock hour, but I want to thank everybody that supports this show. I want to thank everybody that's in this room right now. I want to thank the guys that chimed in, Chris Vant, especially Chris Vant, you every single show. And I want to end the show, and unfortunately, on a solemn note, where we just received the news the past day or two that Vicky Askew, the mother of Vince McMahon, died at the age of 101 of natural causes. She died at home in Texas. She obviously the patriarch of the McMahon family, and obviously Vince McMahon would obviously not be here if it wasn't for this woman. So rest in peace, Vicky, and our condolences go out to the McMahon family, and everybody who knew her, and everybody and her family as well. Yeah, it's a solemn moment, but 101, damn. I mean, I hope I live to be 71, let alone 101. So rest in peace, dear lady, and our hearts and prayers are with your family at this time. That being said, guys, enjoy the Royal Rumble, and Keith and I will see you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock in between the games. All right, there's a AFC Championship and then there's an NFC Championship, so we're gonna be right in between there at 6 o'clock when we welcome and Brickhouse knows this guy, the brand new 3WA Extreme Champion Evan Atlas will be here and live, and God knows who else might show up, Merrick Miami, but just saying.
Gigi Gage.
So tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, Keith and I will be in our regular time slot. Guys, don't go anywhere. I'm going to go off the air. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been the Royal Rumble preview show around the turnbuckle. Have a good night tonight, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you gonna do, brother? Oh, yeah! Woo! What? If you smell what the rock